What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy Podcast. I'm your coach and host, Josh, here with
his energetic host, co-host, and co-host, KG, and I'm in the house.
Co-host in the house. We're getting after it. We're fired up. I forgot that this was about energy already, but I was already energized because we love filming this content for everyone, and we've just been full of energy. Like I can say as someone who's fit, who's healthy, who's happy, even with having a young baby at home, having a dog, having responsibilities, I'm full of vibrance and energy, and it's just absolutely awesome to just feel myself getting better and better and to be more excited, energetic, and just pumped for life. Like even for us, we went to a concert a few weeks ago after training a full week, working a full week. Out that we were at that concert. We were up late doing all this stuff, and then the next day we had a Tough Mudder, like pretty early, 3-hour drive away. We're like, we'll be totally fine. No training for the Tough Mudder, nothing. Crushed it at the front of our heap. It was a lot of fun. It wasn't anything too nuts, but I kind of love, even for myself, that I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm energetic. I can kind of jump in anything that pops up. If a game of volleyball breaks out, we're there. We're playing for 4 hours when other people are huffing and puffing. And this isn't to brag about me and Kyle. This is about everyone being able to do this. That if your kids want to play, you can play. That if someone invites you to go on a hike, you know you're good. You don't need to prep for it. You feel fantastic. That you're not crashing halfway through the day. Like lethargy, being tired, just being overly wiped, like it's a crappy feeling. And if you're there, like these tips are going to help you get through it. And obviously we're super passionate about this. And I just want to say like you 100% can beat that because it's a horrible feeling. And we're really excited just to help you become super full of energy with these tips. It's just important. As always, knowledge is only power when applied. So what's our first tip?
So first one is a little bit of a different one. We're going to jump into very consistent, solid other ones afterwards, but this one really stood out to me, and it is something I've been so passionate about over the last 10 years as I've been living my calling essentially. It is aimed to do more of what inspires you. So of course we're going to talk about sleep, we're going to talk about diet, all that other stuff, but I just think that in order to have energy and just feel fulfilled and just like wake up with purpose and want to actually do something, whatever that is, like find ways to just do stuff that you're super passionate about. Now, some people will say, I work a job, I have no control, I can't do anything about it, I have low energy. Now, my challenge for you is what else can you do past the job? It could be a recreational thing afterwards. It could be something you do before work. There's always something. And this quote really stood out to me, and I have it as saved in my favorites. I look back and it's actually been saved there for 6 years now. It is, you often feel tired, not because you've done too much, but because you've done too little of what sparks a light inside you. And I just think this is so powerful because when I have conversations, some people say, man, I'm so tired. I've worked a ton, I've moved a ton. And the truth is that that's usually not the case. I know there are some instances where it is, but I honestly think that a lot of it just comes down to just not doing enough things that are fulfilling, enough things that excite you. And the second you start changing that, like we all know when we wake up and we, let's say, have a Christmas day and you're just excited, there's energy, there's things going on, you wake up pumped, you wake up excited. And if we can find ways to replicate that in our life, whether it's a sport, whether it's a kid's thing that you want to set them up for that you're really pumped about, like find things that are enjoyable. I guarantee you that alone, you'll be moving with purpose and it'll change your life.
Yeah, Kyle crushed this one because this is so big. Like even for me, one thing I always look at, and actually I just today made like a list of all of my favorite mantras, like how you do anything is how you do everything. One more, don't fix problems, eliminate them. Anyways, I'm sure we'll do an episode on that later. But one of them actually is, how can I live a life that I'm too excited to sleep? Like when you're a kid and you had something crazy the next day, or even now there's something you're just so pumped for, like how can every day be that exciting? And of course it probably won't be to that level, but when you set these big goals, even if you fall short of them, that's still a pretty awesome and exciting life. And when you're on par with what you want to do, when you're pushing forward in your career, when you're improving in your social relationships, when you're getting fitter, when you're healthier, when you're progressing, when you feel yourself just becoming better. Even there's a reel that I've seen going around, and it's like work, no change, but I'm a little better. Work, no change, but I'm a little better. And then it's like work, and then boom, and then like just some big change. And I think that's a really good point. When you're inspired and when you're on that path, that journey is just so important. And Gary Vaynerchuk, the social media guy, he always talks about enjoying the process and the journey. And it was funny, I overheard two guys in the gym yesterday, and the guy was saying, oh, he's trying to get stronger, he wants to be a powerlifter, and he benches 70 kg, but he came in the other day and he could only do 60, and it's so hard, and he wants to get stronger. And the guy's like, bro, just enjoy the process. Like, it's so fun getting stronger, and before you know it, you will be strong. As long as you're doing that work, like, you can enjoy those milestones, those setbacks, having to solve problems, and that can make you have more enthusiasm towards it. And when you are enthusiastic and you're driven, it's easy to be energetic because you got a lot going on and a lot that you're looking forward to. So this is a big one. And this is one that has an overarching theme into all the rest of them. And the next is getting adequate sleep and recovering properly. So I'm going to also throw in managing stress, because if you're a stress case, you are not going to be energetic. You're going to feel horrible. But sleep is so, so important. It's so easy to neglect it and say, I don't need it, I'm fine with less. Be irregular with it, put it to the side. It's very tempting to be on your phone till you just kind of drift asleep instead of having set times. But the best thing you can do for yourself is have a consistent sleep regimen. I really took this serious a couple of years ago. I can't remember when, but I really just noticed my energy just shoot forward. Like, I just feel solid throughout the day. I feel consistent in my workouts. I feel energized. And those days where I do get less sleep, I realize like the toll it has on you. And if you've kind of regulated yourself to being comfortable with less sleep, you'd be amazed how powerful you could be with consistent sleep. And people get caught up on the 8 hours. That's like a good general rule of thumb, but see where you feel best. Like, even 7 to 9, I think, is a great marker. Some people need more, some people need less. Very rare people could do even less. But when you really actually take it serious, you limit caffeine, limit alcohol, have a consistent bedtime, consistent wake up time. You're in a dark, cool room. Like, when you take your sleep serious, and we've done entire episodes on this, you'll notice that you can actually get way better quality, deeper sleep, and then you can actually feel the full effects of it. But it's something you got to put those reps in, you got to put that work on. But if you are getting tired and you find you're lacking energy, like, this is like the fueling force for you. Like, you could say, oh, my phone works when I charge it to 10%. Absolutely it will, but it's going to burn out real quick, or you're going to have to put it on low power mode and like manage it throughout the day, turn it off and on, keep hitting chargers. That's kind of what happens when you're sleep deprived. Whereas when you got a full 100% battery, you can live your life to the fullest.
So the energy that's going to be taking place within the day will always start the night before with the bedtime routine, with, limiting all that negative stuff beforehand, the TV, the food right before, like all these things that affect your quality sleep. And that's where a lot of people struggle, is they wake up and they're like, man, like, why am I not feeling my best? A lot of it starts with the night before. So number 3 though, like, is just going to be optimizing your routine with better habits. And a lot of this is going to be the morning habits that I'm specifically going to talk about, but we could talk about afternoon habits, we could talk about nighttime as well, but the morning specifically. And I'm going to actually share with you a few things that I used to do that would leave me, when I show up to meet up with Josh at 9:30, I would just be like, man, I'm wiped. Like, I don't feel my best. And like, how can I show up for my clients? How can I show up for myself at the gym? How can I show up for everything when I'm just feeling horrible because the morning routine that I had was just brutal? So a couple things, like laying in bed for the first little while is just not going to be helpful. Like, your alarm clock goes off. If you're laying there, if you're putting off the day, whether you hit snooze or not, I will never feel great from laying there for 10 minutes, for 5 minutes, for half an hour. I just don't do it. I try to get out of bed right away, or I do get out of bed right away. I try to get outside and make sure that whether it's dark or whether it's bright, I'm getting out there. Like, that alone increases your energy levels, and it's been proven through science as well. Even just coffee, like the big switch. I remember Josh saying, hey, I'm starting to limit my coffee. Like, I'm not doing it first thing. I used to wake up and just start chugging right away. Now waiting 60 to 90 minutes, I find that it has longer lasting energy. And once again, this has been proved by science as well. If someone wakes up, you wake up right on time, you get out of bed, you go and lay on your couch and turn on the TV and watch the news, like, your energy's just not going to be there. And it's just not going to be there for the rest of the day. Like, how you start your day sets the tone for the rest of the day. And then even just one other thing I was thinking of is, like, when I would just wake up and just like rush right out of the house, like when I had to be out there, it was a lot harder. Whereas like when I spend time doing the things that leave me feeling good, meditating, walking, doing the things that I need to do, getting everything set up, doing my work, I find that that's so much, I just have way more energy versus just like feeling stressed, feeling overwhelmed, just jumping into stuff like without taking care of myself. So my question is, where can you improve these habits? Pay attention to what works, what doesn't work, what leaves you feeling good, what leaves you not feeling good, and start to make those changes.
110%. Now into number 4, it's just consistent exercise. Like by actually being on top of consistently going to the gym, it's so easy to put it off and be like, I'll work out later, not do it, say you're tired. But going to the gym actually has been shown to give you more energy, make you feel more fulfilled. You get endorphins, like it's geared towards actually helping you feel better. A workout is fantastic for making you more alert, being aware in the day. And on top of that, like even just getting out and being more active throughout the day. If you're sitting around, chances are that's when you're going to be the most tired. So by actively making a point to get out there, there's been times I've been wiped. You go out to play like volleyball or something and you feel like $1,000 after. And it's funny how doing more can actually make you feel better. But as we know, if we sit around for 10 hours, usually that's when you feel the most tired and wiped. So actually making a point to get in more exercise is actually going to help you greatly.
Yeah, we actually play volleyball every Friday for a couple hours. And the other day, I specifically sat there paying attention to how I felt beforehand, which I was a bit tired. Like, I'm not going to lie, it was a 6 out of 10. We played and I went right up to about an 8.5 afterwards, which is like, still, I'm not 100%, but I was paying attention to that specifically. And I was actually trying to share that. I filmed a video and I didn't post it on Instagram, but I was just like inspired because you get sunlight, you move for 2 to 3 hours, so you get exercise. And also I was doing something that was fulfilling and just leaving me feel great because I love it. So the best part is you can combine a lot of these things that can fit into all of these different categories that can change your life and leave you feeling more fulfilled with more energy. And a lot of times people are like, I don't have energy to work out. Well, sometimes you don't have energy to work out because you're not working out, because you're skipping it. And I highly recommend get out there. Even if you're feeling tired, it will pay off and it'll leave you feeling incredible afterwards. But number 5 is just eating a balanced diet. A lot of people don't realize how this can affect their energy. We all know, we've all had that one meal that just doesn't leave us feeling good. You feel lethargic, you feel tired. It can definitely just decrease your energy levels. Like a heavy fast food meal, like the difference between that and like a lighter, high protein, more veggies meal, like those two differences are day and night. And that's why I just highly recommend, like when you are paying attention to your nutrition, it's not just for fat loss, it's not just for any of that stuff, but like think of your energy, like how great you feel when you fuel yourself well, when you drink more water. And even for protein, it's actually been proven that, just any sort of protein actually does create longer lasting energy sources. That's why we're such a big fan of it, not just for the lean muscle point, but even just for energy. And I highly recommend it. Change your diet, eat stuff that feels good, that leaves you feeling good, and it'll just give you more energy day in and day out.
Number 6 is have accountability, have people that inspire you. And an example of this is this episode. I would say there's a very high chance listening to this, you want to get out, you want to do these things, you want to operate, be more, do more. And that's a great thing. It's like you need to put the work to turn this on. You may think, oh, I'll listen to music or true crime or something, but you're going to learn here, you're going to be inspired here, and that's going to go a long way. Another example of this is having a coach, having someone on your team who's going to push you, who's going to help you do those things when you don't feel like it, who's going to make it easy for you to be able to do it. So if you're tired of crashing at that 3 p.m. mark, feeling like you have no energy to do the things you love, feeling like you're stopping short in life because you don't have the ability to do the things you used to do or the things that really do truly make you happy, and you feel yourself going in that right direction, we want to help you one-on-one get your guaranteed results. So if you're looking to lose 15 to 20 pounds of fat and gain 10 pounds of new muscle while restoring energy, while feeling fitter, healthier, and happier, this is the call for you, and this is your chance to do it. Go ahead and DM us the keyword energy on Instagram to @colossusfit, COLOSSUSFIT, and we're going to help you reclaim that energy, gain that muscle, lose that fat in just 90 days to get started. And this is a paid investment, but what we can promise you is we can guarantee your results. You will see this change. And you're not only going to see change in this time frame, this is going to help you get on that right path to seeing better change for the rest of your life. So do yourself this justice, send that message, because this is going to be the start of great greatness for you. So once again, DM energy to us on Instagram to @colossusfit, COLOSSUSFIT.
One of my favorite things is when someone comes into our program, and of course they'll lose body fat. Of course, their clothes will fit different, but like getting those messages from those people who say, hey, I now have energy to play with my kid, to keep up with them. I'm going to bed and I'm just feeling like pumped up and I just had an incredible day. Like, there's nothing that feels better, and we absolutely love it. We've helped so many people just improve their energy. And of course, these tips are fantastic, like only if you apply them. But truthfully, when we do have that accountability and we can actually take a deep dive at someone's situation when they say, hey, here's my work life, here's where I'm at, here's like where I'm struggling, and we can create a tailored routine, it's honestly day and night. And another thing people don't realize with our coaching program, we actually keep track of energy levels on our custom spreadsheet. So we're able to monitor that, and our biggest mission is to help everyone feel just absolutely incredible day in and day out, because without high energy, without feeling your best, like it's no way to live. And like I've been there, and I want everyone to feel incredible, and that's why we can't wait to help some of you awesome people. But lastly, I just think like we can definitely get some external energy boosts, some external energy sources. Of course, a lot of this is internal, between drinking more water, between sleep, between doing all these great habits, but there's definitely something to be said about getting extra motivation, extra support for those times where you need it. And I'm definitely someone who utilizes this. Like there's just some days where, my sleep's on point, my food's on point, my water's on point, but it just depends. If it's a really cloudy day, sometimes, even just with the season changing, I know it's harder for people to get out of bed. And, I get that. And I've been there as well. And that's what actually inspired me to just kind of jot some of these things down, because I know it is, I've been getting messages and people saying, hey, it's darker in the morning. It's just harder to get out there, and just rely on extra stuff as well. Like take note of all these things, but having an audiobook that you listen to that inspires you. Like Josh just said, this podcast, the accountability, there's some books that you sit down and you're like, man, this is great. There's motivational videos, like those things, like the energy from those people can translate over to you and just help you feel so much better. And even just music, like stuff like that. If you need a couple minutes, you listen to the podcast, you listen to the audiobook, and you're like, hey, I'm going to take a few minutes here just to listen to something I like, that's also going to pump me up. Go for it. But you can use these things. It can help out. But above all, let us take care of your journey. Let us help you out, and we will change your life for sure.